Hey,
we're the Lone Bellow.
And you're watching 101.9 KINK Radio in the Bloodworks Live studio.
Yay.
That's all you got? I think the rain made you sleepy. The Lone Bellow, everybody. There we go. That'll help a little bit. The third album, Walk Into a Storm, I have to ask you, the first album, there's a lot of pressure. It's your first album. It's your first entry into life as a band. The second album, you have to live up to the first album. What kind of pressures come with the third album?
Oh, man. Actual physical pressure that, like, pushes you down like a... Just kidding. I don't know. We had a lot of fun with this third album. We got to make it at this place called RCA Studios in Nashville. That's, like, this historic studio that Chet Atkins built back in the 60s. And we grew up... I grew up hearing stories about it from my grandparents, and just having the honor to be able to make that there was something else. And Dave Cobb, who grew up in Savannah, Georgia, and was in California for a long time making records, and now is in Nashville, and is also like almost as big of a Beatles fan as Kaneen.
Close, no cigar.
That was a lot of fun as well, and yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that we had something that we wanted to say and that we wanted to sing, and that was like number one.
Well, you moved from New York area to East Nashville. Was the move done because you wanted to be in East Nashville because of being in Nashville, period, because of the creativity, the music, or was it you wanted to get out of Manhattan?
Well, I was in Brooklyn for a long time, and we just got some good advice. Like, especially once we started touring, we weren't home that much at all, and I had 3 kids at the time with another one on the way, and sometimes we'd have to be gone for like a month at a time, and it just wasn't sustainable. I mean, these little ones are only in your house for like 18 years. Just kidding. So then we started getting some advice. We, met some people at different festivals that gave us advice that had been touring a lot longer than we had, and talking to even our agent, who's just this old soul in the music industry that like has been working with the Grateful Dead since day one, and this and that, just a real wise man. And they were like, if you are based in Nashville, you can do different legs of the country and be home a lot more. And touring life can be a healthier situation. So it was like, as much as we love Brooklyn, we had to weigh out, like, what's the most important parts of life right now? And that's kind of what brought it.
When you moved there, did you find different inspirations musically as well? I mean, you mentioned Dave Cobb. He lives in Nashville. Mm-hmm. Did you seek him out, or was it sort of a...
We decided to make the record with Cobb, I think, before we moved to Nashville.
He was on the short list for our second record, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was in the radar.
I think there is a beautiful energy in East Nashville. There's a lot of, like, privately owned businesses, and, like, your neighbor across the street will own, the little restaurant that you can walk to, and there's a lot of that kind of creativity. And then music's the same way. It's just like...
Yeah, you can't throw a stone without hitting like 50 musicians.
Yeah, like incredible
that would be a good
musicians.
Throw.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's not a weak throw. It just kind of ricochets.
Yeah.
But they do keep the karaoke game on the level, I feel. Like, sometimes we'll go to a city and you go to a karaoke bar and people are just like way too good, and you're like, this is supposed to be fun. You're supposed to sound bad. They don't do that there, I've noticed. Okay. They'll like, like a guy that has a really good voice will try to cover like a Whitney Houston song or something.
Go out of his range. You mentioned this third album putting a lot of yourselves in it, and it is a really personal album. Tell us a little bit about that, some of the songs that have the most meaning. There's one, Kaneen, that you wrote, Feathers.
Yeah, Brian and I wrote that song together.
Yeah.
Yeah, we, I think the album is a lot about commitment, and a lot about the commitment of family and marriage, but also just of friends. And, we see each other a lot more than most people ever see. any other people. And, you know, I lost a friend to suicide a few years ago, and I couldn't really get out of it. We were touring, and I just didn't have time to process. And these guys kind of were there for me the best they knew how, and that song kind of came out of that that time. But that's just one story in a million that went into this record. That's just like one of the things we were going through at the time.
Yeah, I mean, everybody was going through changes. The move and everything fell into it. I went to get some help with some addiction problems, and I don't know, the real story behind the record to me is like a celebration of like the rubber meeting the road with some people, like us three friends, and like actually like living up to what we've said we're gonna do. Mm-hmm. Like we pushed back a record so I could get some help, and we came back, and I don't know, from my perspective, there's two other perspectives on stage, but it seemed like we had like we're gonna celebrate this music because this is what we get to do, and like life in general. It just brought, and that was the undertone, in my opinion, of the whole record, you know. So.
Yeah. It's a beautiful album. Walk Into a Storm. Go and buy it after you get what few tickets are left for tonight's show at the Aladdin Theater, of course. Thank you so much. I know life on the road is hectic and crazy, and we appreciate the fact that you guys can come into our studio and play for us. So thank you very much. Lone Bellow, everybody.